US invasions through the world. Hello and welcome to this video about US invasions in various countries. Throughout its history, the United States has been involved in numerous military interventions around the world. These interventions have taken many different forms, ranging from full-scale invasions to covert operations and drone strikes. In this video, we will take a brief look at some of the most notable US invasions in various countries. Let's start with the most recent US invasion in Afghanistan. In 2001, following the 9/11 attacks, the US launched a military campaign to overthrow the Taliban government in Afghanistan, which was harboring Al-Qaeda terrorists. The US invasion was initially successful, and the Taliban regime was quickly toppled. However, the subsequent years have been marked by ongoing conflict, with the US and its allies engaged in a protracted battle against Taliban insurgents. Moving on to Iraq, in 2003, the US invaded the country on the pretext that Saddam Hussein's regime possessed weapons of mass destruction. However, no such weapons were found, and the US-led invasion quickly descended into a protracted conflict, with widespread violence and sectarian tensions. The US occupation of Iraq lasted until 2011, with the country still struggling to rebuild in the aftermath of the conflict. Another notable US invasion was the 1989 invasion of Panama. The US launched the invasion to remove General Manuel Noriega, who was accused of drug trafficking and other crimes. The US invasion was swift and successful, with Noriega captured and imprisoned. However, the invasion also resulted in the deaths of hundreds of Panamanians, and the US has been criticized for its heavy-handed approach. Going back further, in 1983, the US invaded Grenada, a small island nation in the Caribbean. The invasion was launched in response to a coup d'etat that had taken place in Grenada, and the US claimed that American citizens on the island were in danger. The invasion was swift and successful, with the US forces quickly overpowering the Grenadian military. However, the invasion was also controversial, with many questioning the legality of the action. Lastly, we can't forget about the Vietnam War, one of the most controversial conflicts in US history. The US became involved in the Vietnam War in the 1960s, as part of its Cold War policy of containing communism. The war was marked by intense fighting, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. The conflict also sparked widespread anti-war protests in the US, with many questioning the morality and necessity of the war. The US eventually withdrew its forces in 1973, and the war ended with the North Vietnamese victory in 1975. In conclusion, the US has been involved in numerous military interventions throughout its history, with varying degrees of success and controversy. While some interventions may have been necessary to protect American interests and security, others have been criticized as overly aggressive or unjustified. As always, the consequences of military interventions are complex and far-reaching, and it is important to continue to examine and debate the ethics and outcomes of such actions. Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.